Another pufferfish has come into the fish room.
A stranger from the outside.
How's it going, everybody? Austin here with Fintastic Freaks. And yes, you heard correctly. Puffer species number 3 has come here to the Fintastic Fish room. And here is the little guy right here. This is a hairy pufferfish. Just like Finley, my Fahaka puffer, as well as my pea pufferfish, this hairy pufferfish is another freshwater puffer. As some of you that have been watching my channel for a while now know, I am a sucker when it comes to pufferfish. Despite that, the hairy pufferfish was never really on my I must have it list, but after seeing multiple photos on various fish groups, some YouTube videos, the little guy grew on me, and when I finally saw him in a fish store, I just had to have him. This was also the first time I had ever seen a species of pufferfish in any store of any location I've been before. Obviously, as I live here nearby Omaha, we have a few good fish stores here. As you've seen in a previous video, I've been over to Lincoln, Nebraska, and aside of the store that I went there, they got another few good ones over there. As you've also seen in another video, I've been to Atlantic, and I've never seen a species of pufferfish anywhere before. And just another reason why when I finally did see one, the voice in my head was just saying, I gotta have it, I gotta have it. Hairy puffers max out about 5.5, 6 inches. Thus this 10-gallon tank here will suffice for him for a decent amount of time before we have to upgrade him to, say, probably a 20 or a 30-gallon for sure would serve as a good forever home for them. Though he's kind of hiding behind the plants right now, he's for the most part been out and about, which is kind of unusual for this species, as typically they kind of like to hide. Hairy pufferfish are a ambush predator, kind of like arrowhead puffers or dragon puffers. Thus, they will appreciate lots of caves, heavily planted tanks where they can get out of the line of sight, and sand substrates are good for them as well, as they typically like to bury themselves in the sand. Normally I'd be like, we gotta figure out a name for this fish here, but think we already got one figured out, thanks to my fiance, of course. Well, actually, kind of debating between two. So the fiance says that Harry Potter would be a good name. With it being a hairy puffer and all that, hey, they sound similar, thus it works, right? You're a puffer, Harry. For the record, real quick, my fantastic fiance came up with that line, so sadly, I can't take credit for that one. Another name that was suggested by a fish group that I'm on was Hufflepuff or Hufflepuffer, and not gonna lie, I really like those ones too. In terms of water parameters of where I had this guy, they're not too picky in terms of hardness or softness, so that's really not too much of an object. Obviously, like any other puffers, they're a scaleless fish, thus you gotta watch the nitrites, and ammonia. They're a tropical water fish, so any temperature between 72 and 78 degrees, and they'll be more than comfortable. In terms of their diet, like most other pufferfish, they're very carnivorous. Like Finley, though, I'll have to mind his teeth, as he has those continuously growing teeth. Thus things like snails, shrimp, crayfish, crab. Crayfish and crab might be when he gets a little bit bigger. Either way, need to give him those to help trim down his continuously growing teeth. They usually accept other frozen foods, bloodworms, or mine specifically really loves frozen krill. And though it's not an absolute must, I would make it as a high recommendation to give your hairy puffer a sandy substrate, a very fine sandy substrate. The finer the better, as it'll be less likely to scratch them if they decide to bury themselves, which they do like to do. As I said earlier, they are an ambush predator, thus sometimes they like to hide behind plants, in caves, or even bury themselves in the sand, which in the wild they do so to try to hide and then sneak up and catch unsuspecting prey in the wild. Hopefully as he gets bigger and matures, he'll continue to be at least a little bit outgoing, and so we can see him grow and his progress and such, but nonetheless he's already grown on me a ton, and just at this point it's been about a week since I've gotten him, and happy to have him here in the fish room as the next puffer species in this fish room And I can promise you right now, he's he won't be the last. If you like this video, or just like the hairy puffer, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. If you like Harry Potter, maybe Harry Puffer, or Hufflepuffer, any of those names, go ahead and let me know which of those you like the most in the comments below. If you haven't already, fish folk, consider subscribing to my channel to stay in the loop with everything I do down here in the fish room, from new fish videos such as this, fish profiles, fish store tours, all sorts of things. And if what I do on YouTube isn't enough for you, follow me on my Instagram at that right there. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Stay fantastic.